Welcome dear friends to my car collection showcase in the Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed game. This video is designed as a series wrap-up of the game from my side. So let us have a look at all the cars that I have purchased in the game. I'll start first with my classic era cars. The first car that I had purchased was the 1950 356 1100 Coupe Ferdinand. I had purchased it for 11,000 and it's currently valued at 104,019. I had used this car for the 356 challenge. After this, I purchased 3 cars from the used car section. The first one was the 356 1500 Super Coupe, next the 356 1500 Super Cabriolet and the 1300 Super Cabriolet. I had purchased these cars as a fail-safe option if I needed any money, if I ever ran out of cash in the game. Fortunately I didn't, and so these 3 cars are still in my garage. The next tournament that I had faced in the game was the 356 A Cup. There were 10 cars released, there were 10 356As released, and I purchased all 10 of them. These were the 1600 Super Cabriolet, the 1600 Super Coupe, the 1600 Speedster, the 1300 Cabriolet, the 1300 Coupe, 1300 Super Cabriolet, 1300 Super Coupe, 1600 Cabriolet, 1600 Coupe, and the best of the lot, that was the 1600 Super Speedster. So this was the car that I had used in the 356A Cup. Note how the price of the car has escalated. Basically, these are vintage cars right now. After this, the next tournament that we had faced was the 356B Endurance Cup, for which 12 cars were released. I did not purchase all 12 of them. I did purchase 4. The 1600 Super 90 Roadster, the 1600 Super 90 Hardtop, the 1600 Super 90 Cabriolet, and the best one of the lot was the 1600 Super 90 Coupe, which was actually used for the 356B Endurance. After this, I faced the 2000cc challenge, for which 2 new cars were available. The 1962 356B 2000 GS Carrera 2 and the 1965 911 Coupe. The 911 Coupe was better, and so this was the car that was used for the 2000cc challenge. The final tournament of the classic era was the 911 Cup. 2 new cars were released for this tournament. The 1967 911S Targa and the 1967 911S Coupe. Of course, the Coupe had the better handling. All other parameters were same, but the Coupe had the better handling, and so this was the car that was used for the 911 Cup. After this, the classic era was completed, and the game offered us a chance to win the 1956 550A Spider in the 550A trophy. I won that race and made the Spider mine. That is why the purchase price of the Spider is 0. We then reached the golden era in 1970, and the first tournament was the 914 trophy. There was only 1 car released for that tournament, and that was the 914x4 1.7. So this car was purchased and used for the tournament. It was a slower car, but it had excellent handling. The next tournament in the golden era was the mixed class challenge, which allowed either a class 3 or a class 2 car to be used. 4 new cars were released. The 1972 911S 2.4 Coupe, 911S 2.4 Targa, 914x4 2.0, and the 911 Carrera RS 2.7 Coupe. The first 3 were class 3 cars, whereas this one was a class 2 car. I purchased all 4 of them. The 911S 2.4 Coupe had the best handling, and so this was the car that was used for the mixed class challenge. I also used the 914x4 2.0 to have another go at the 914 trophy. After this, I faced the 911 non-turbo cup, for which the car that I used was the 1973 911 Carrera RS 2.7 Coupe. The 1975 The 1975 911 Turbo 3.0 coupe was also released, but it could not be used for the non-turbo tournament, so I purchased it, but it was never actually used in the race. The next tournament was the Carrera RS 2.7 Challenge, for which once again the 911 Carrera RS 2.7 coupe was used. After this I faced the 944 Cup, and for this I had purchased the 1982 944 coupe. The 944 was once again a solid car, lower speed but excellent handling, just like the 914. The final challenge of the golden era was the 911 Turbo Challenge, for which I had purchased the 1978 911 Turbo 3.3 coupe, a very fast car but extremely difficult to handle. The golden era was then completed, and we were once again offered a chance to win the 935 by 78 coupe Moby Dick in the 935 trophy. Once again, I won that tournament to make the Moby Dick mine. We then entered the modern era in the year 1989, and the first tournament that we faced was the Class 3 trophy. Two new cars were released for this tournament: the 1989 911 Carrera 4 Coupe 964 and the 1989 944 S2 Cabriolet. Out of these, the Carrera 4 Coupe was better, and so this car was used for the Class 3 trophy. 5 more Class 3 cars were released after the Class 3 trophy was won. These were the 1990 911 Carrera 2 Cabriolet, the Carrera 4 Cabriolet, the Carrera 2 Targa, Carrera 4 Targa, and the 911 Carrera 2 Coupe 964. All these cars were similar. Since the Class 3 trophy was a money spinner, I completed it a number of times to purchase all these cars. For the next tournament, which was the Class 2 trophy, 2 new cars were released: the 1992 928 GTS and the 1993 911 Turbo 3.6 Coupe. The Turbo 3.6 Coupe was better, and hence it was used for the tournament. I test ran the 928 GTS, and frankly it had horrible control, so I never actually used it in a tournament. After the completion of the Class 2 trophy, 4 new Class 2 cars were released. These were the 911 Carrera Coupe 993, 911 Carrera 4 Coupe 993, 911 Carrera 4S Coupe, and the 911 Carrera Targa. Once again, I completed the Class 2 trophy a number of times and purchased all these cars. Actually used them in the tournament. The next challenge presented to us was the Class 1 trophy. Only one Class 1 car was available, and that was the 1995 911 Turbo 3.6 Coupe 993. The car was purchased and used for the Class 1 trophy. The next challenge presented to us was the Boxster Challenge, for which the car released was the 1997 Boxster. The Boxster was once again a safe car, like the 914 and the 944. The penultimate tournament of the modern era was the 911 Anniversary Cup, for which we needed a 911 non-turbo car. 4 911 996 non-turbos were released for this tournament. The best of the lot was the 1999 911 Carrera 4 Coupe, and hence this car was purchased and used in the 911 Anniversary Cup. After the end of this tournament, the 2000 Boxster S was released. I purchased this car to have another go at the Boxster Challenge. That brought us to the year 2000 and the final tournament of the modern era, the 2000 911 Turbo Challenge. The only car released for this tournament was the 2000 911 Turbo 996, probably the best car of the game among the regulation cars and my personal favorite. After the end of the modern era, the game once again offered us a chance to win a bonus car. The car available to be won was the 1998 Porsche 911 GT1 race version in the GT1 trophy. I won that tournament to make it 3 bonus cars out of 3, and promptly the 1998 911 GT1 race version was mine. So that's it for this video, friends. This was a series wrap up of the Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed in the Evolution mode. I'll upload some more bonus content related to this game, after which I'll move on to the next game in the Need for Speed series. That's it for today. Once again, thanks for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. See you.